Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to be bringing you through the T-Rex vintage compressor. It's the model 670, and it is based off the Fairchild 670. Now, the Fairchild 670 has been used on countless records. It's very old, it's very rare, it's very expensive, but we have it in plug-in form, so it's pretty cool. Basically, it's been used on a lot of records. You got Beatles, you got Dark Side of the Moon, you have older Aerosmith, used on his vocals very famously. Dark Side of the Moon used extensively, basically on everything. And what it is I think it's like a 65-pound piece of steel hardware made from old military equipment. Basically, it's probably about 5 or 10 left in the world working. It costs a lot of money to service. It takes half a day to turn on and warm up, and it's basically a dinosaur of a compressor, no pun intended. And it has a sound. So what we have here is the T-Rex vintage compressor. It's very awesome. It does a lot of cool things. You'll notice, just like the 670, there's just, two knobs, basically. We have the input and threshold, right? There's no attack and release like on a lot of those compressors from that day. There's only, a time constant. So all you have to remember is all these basically have the same attack, a very fast attack from its tubeness. And it's not reactive. It doesn't grab the audio and do things you don't want. It's because it's like an all kind of tube design. It's not, like a solid state, like computer chips. Not very reactive. It doesn't grab the audio. It's very creamy, which is why those albums sound the way they do. Again, to this time constant area. What does this mean? Well, these are all different modes of attack and release. But basically all the attacks are the same. But as you increase, so this would have a fast release character, still fast, a little bit slower, a little bit slower, a little bit slower, a little bit slower, right? So you get up. I'll show you right here. This would be, you see the gain reduction here, very fast attack. You go all the way here, it just kind of crawls there. So that's a 2-stage one, obviously. Right? Slower. Ooh, slower. So this would have more of a reduction. Anyway, so round 1 and 2 is where I stay. It also has a mid-side mode, which is, vertical and lateral. Just think of that as mid-side and independent left-right. We're going to link them. So how you use this compressor this is the threshold. So this is pretty much a compression amount. The more you increase it, the more compression you get. And it's a very fast attack, which gives it that sound. Dark Side of the Moon, what up? It has a threshold, and it sounds cool, but what does it do? So how do you use it? Basically, it's these two big knobs here. So if you want a smoother kind of transparent compression, you'd have it at a lowered input, so you don't get those harmonics, and you have an appropriate threshold. Right, punchy, and then you have all your gain reduction going on, and then you have your output here. You bring that up to an appropriate level. Right, and it really cleans up the mix. But you can get into, some drive, which is fun. 5 dB, my favorite for some reason. Right, lots of drive. Bring down the output knob here. Right, very compressed, very aggressive, but very harmonic and it's kind of odd how it works. It's very eerie. Probably because of that, that tube modeling going on there. And then you kind of experiment. These are all the same attack, so you'll still get the same punchiness. But say, these would be for drums, the faster release kind of time constants, and then if you go over here, it's more for vocals and kind of guitars and like acoustical instruments that you want to have just kind of ride throughout the mix. We have a long release going on there, right? So yeah, use the appropriate time constant. So for whatever you're recording or not recording, whatever you're mixing, this would be a bus with drums. You want that punchiness, you want that fast release, so everything has continuity. You're not just squishing everything, right? It's pretty cool. And for like a lead or some sort of bass chugging along, or anything acoustic or like a pad, use a slower release to get some nice kind of effect. You can really drive this thing, and it sounds terrifying. Alright, kind of overkill, but you get it. Just make sure these are kind of matched up. Right, you can get some punchy aggressiveness. Left and right, you can, for say like a drum, if you're going for that, you can really kind of pan things, but pan them via compression. So you can have like a harder compression on the left channel, which I'm pointing to my right. I'm an idiot. You can have a hardcore kind of compression on your right channel, and kind of like even out a mix that way, with and it just sounds more interesting. Or of course, you can use your mid-side mode, which this will be your mid, and this will be your side. So you can completely mono it, or you can really drive and compress the side material. Right, so this would be the mid, the stereo material. And this would be the side material, so I'll just bring that up. So different time constants for each channel. Right? Sounds interesting. It's going to be a unique form of compression to make your mix just sit in a more interesting old school way. And that's basically it. Hope you learned stuff, and hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.